Trump's use of emergency powers to build a border wall. The lawsuit comes days after Mr. Trump chose to bypass Congress by invoking those powers and secure money for his main campaign promise. California Attorney General Javier Becerra says Mr. Trump lacks legal grounds for doing this, and he says the president knows it.
The president were to move forward by taking $8 billion from accounts that Congress has allocated money to, then clearly, $8 billion is going to be felt throughout the country and certainly in California.
Paul Glastris is a former speechwriter for former President Bill Clinton and current editor of the Washington Monthly.
Never before has a president used this power to take money that Congress has specifically said he can't take. That's what's new here.
North Carolina elections officials say that the 9th District congressional election was marred by falsified signatures, blank ballots that consultants could complete, and disappearing documents. The state elections board could decide as early as today whether that was unfortunate but tolerable or whether to order a new election. Earlier in the day, state elections board director Kim Strack outlined the case.
It's not just
retirees on the state health plan will have limited access to hospitals and doctors in your community. This risky scheme will cut services. It will take away your choice about who you want to care for you and your family.
If the state treasurer really wants to cut costs to the state health plan, he needs to work with doctors and hospitals to prevent illness, manage chronic diseases, and help folks lose weight and stay healthy.
Healthy employees and retirees will save the state health plan money. Isn't that what the treasurer says he wants?
Let's stop pointing fingers and start working to build a smarter state health plan by protecting patients and supporting the folks who take care of them.
That's the North Carolina way of doing things.
Paid for by Partners for Innovation in Healthcare.
Amazon has new plans for its faltering movie division.
Coney Island, 1950s.
After taking a bath at the box office on movies like Woody Allen's Wonder Wheel and last year's Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet.
So how you doing? I'm doing great.
The head of Amazon's film division, Jennifer Salk, tells the New York Times the company will move away from prestige product to date night movies and films with younger appeal. Many will skip theaters and go straight to Prime Video. Amazon movie issues began when it broke away from established Hollywood partners and into self-distribution. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
State transportation leaders have their eyes not just on highway safety, but also on rural roads. According to the North Carolina Department of Transportation, one of the highest risk country corridors is in Harnett County. But there are several others across the state. State traffic engineer Kevin Lacey tells WRAL News.
Some of these rural roads do not have the safety features built into them because they're very old roads.
Trapped in quicksand. It really happened in a national park.
He went on a hike in Zion National Park. Suddenly,
he got stuck in quicksand and could not extricate himself.
Sergeant Wyatt Weber, Utah Highway Patrol, unable to free himself despite combined efforts with a friend. So
she left him and hiked 4 hours out. The park rangers hiked 4 hours in.
Still trapped in quicksand and suffering from hypothermia, rangers freeing the hiker, staying with him overnight before he got airlifted to the hospital. Jim Taylor, CBS News.
Fayetteville State University is joining other higher education campuses by adding a food pantry at the school. University officials said a grand opening will be held today for the pantry, which is a partnership with Food Lion. The grocery store chain provided $10,000 in products, shelving, and laptops to get the pantry started. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Today's hits and yesterday's memories, WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Another Democrat now in the presidential race.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders announcing he's ready to make another run for president.
I'm asking you today to be part of an unprecedented grassroots campaign.
This news comes as California Senator Kamala Harris made her first trip to New Hampshire, distancing herself from Sanders.
I am not a Democratic socialist.
In a CNN town hall, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar also steering more toward a moderate lane.
What we need right now in this country is less of this grandstanding and gridlock.
Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Washington.
16 states are now filing a lawsuit challenging the president's declaration of a national emergency at the southern border. ABC's Alex Stone.
This is exactly what President Trump predicted would happen. The lawsuit has been filed in the 9th U.S. Circuit, a circuit that has ruled against President Trump several times. He predicted he'll lose and then lose again at the appellate level in the 9th Circuit. But the president predicted a win on this at the Supreme Court level, but it'll take time to get there.
Sources tell ABC News Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein is now set to leave the Justice Department in mid-March. West Virginia teachers all heading out on strike today. All public schools in the state of West Virginia will be closed. Teachers are protesting a bill that could reimagine education across West Virginia. An American mom who went to Syria to join ISIS is now hoping to come back home. ABC's James Longman is there.
Hoda Mathanna left Alabama to marry an ISIS fighter 4 years ago. She was just 19. She spread ISIS propaganda online, calling for attacks on Americans. Now, she tells The Guardian, she is pleading to come home.
I know I ruined my future and my son's future, and I'm deeply, deeply regretting.
Mathanna married 3 times during her time here, each time to an ISIS fighter, each time made a widow.
Several reports now say fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld has died. He was 85. You're listening to ABC News.
Question, do you have a health insurance plan you are not happy with? Well, Bethany and Jason thought they were stuck. Their plan just kept getting more expensive, and Bethany's favorite doctor didn't even take that plan anymore. And then some friends at church told them about MediShare.
With our previous insurance, we were paying $1,200 a month. With MediShare, we now pay around $600 a month.
Yes, they're paying $600 less per month, and that's a pretty typical savings with MediShare, and they actually like MediShare more.
I was able to go back to my original doctor that I absolutely loved, and it's just been an absolutely beautiful thing being a part of MediShare.
Yeah, so they pay a lot less, and they like it more. No wonder MediShare is growing so fast. Find out more. They're super easy to talk to. All you have to do is call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
One of President Trump's longtime confidants and friends, Roger Stone, now apologizing for an Instagram post. It showed a picture of the judge in his criminal case, along with what looked like crosshairs near her head. He says it should not have been posted. President Trump today is expected to sign a directive to create a new space force. Reports say it'll fall under the Air Force, the same way the Marines are under the Navy. If you're looking to make 2019 the year you launch a business, ABC's Daria Albinger has some tips from someone who's done it already.
How do you make a name for your business in a field that's well established? Know your customer.
We're really targeting the modern millennial traveler, someone who doesn't book travel the way their parents did.
Aaron Curley founded Lugless, a baggage shipping service.
They only have to pay for what they want. Maybe you don't care about the doorstep pickup or the 24/7 support on the phone. Maybe you're more comfortable chatting in.
And he says this may be the best advice he got and the biggest challenge.
The hardest thing is trying not to be everything to everyone.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
And a rescue overnight at SeaWorld in San Diego. 16 people stuck in the Bayside Sky Ride. This woman knows some of them.
They're all scared of heights, so I guess they're all freezing and scared and terrified. Also, they're over water, so it's even more terrifying.
The riders had to be lowered by rescuers using harnesses. The lifeguard boats were waiting below for them. Everybody's okay. This is ABC News.
Marriage, a new home, the birth or adoption of a child, and the new tax laws? You might want to check out your withholdings. The IRS has made a withholding calculator on its website so you can do a paycheck checkup. Now, if you're caught short this year, chalk it up to experience and make the changes for next year.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in taxes to the IRS? There are programs that can reduce or eliminate your debt now. Call Fox Tax at 800-680-8090. 800-680-8090.
We have high pressure building in, bringing in a colder air mass. We're watching moisture coming in from the south and west later on tonight. Spells for a mess up in our northern counties, but everybody else sees rain. Today is mostly cloudy, the high in the mid-40s to about 50. We're going to look for rain to move in this evening. There could be a little bit of a mix up toward our northern counties. We're talking about mixed with some sleet, and then changing over to freezing rain as we go through the night. Everybody else sees rain, the low in the low to mid-30s. Freezing rain to the north in the morning. Everybody else rain, the high in the upper 30s to low 40s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Mike. We are right now 36 degrees, cloudy skies, clearing this morning. Got a lot of full moon out there, but now it's clouded over, and we are under that winter watch with wintry precipitation watch tonight, advisory tonight, starting about 4 o'clock, going until 6 o'clock tomorrow. But I got that backwards. Starts at 6 o'clock, now it goes 4 o'clock tomorrow, and freezing rain expected in this area, all of McDowell County, Polk County, and the higher elevations expected to get some of that freezing rain tonight and possibly tomorrow. Then by the next day, toward the weekend, it's still raining Mostly cloudy with rain likely on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have rain all the way through Sunday. Be clearing out of here for Monday. So we got a lot of rain coming, but the most treacherous thing to look out for is that freezing rain that may develop tonight and tomorrow morning. We'll have a better feel on it by tomorrow morning, so just stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on any delays tomorrow morning, any road problems, and we'll keep you posted on that. Right now it's 36 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherford. Now we have these death announcements. Mrs. Beatrice Harold Proctor, better known as B. Proctor, of Forest City, passed away Saturday at Spartanburg Medical Center. Services will be held today at 3 o'clock at Adaville Baptist Church on Oakland Road, Spindale, with Dr. John Whitlow officiating. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service, and burial will follow in the church cemetery. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Mrs. B. Proctor. Mr. William Lawrence Haynes died February the 15th at Seacoast Medical Center in Little River, South Carolina. Funeral services will be held 1 o'clock Wednesday at Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffsides Chapel, officiated by Dr. Dean Sisk, with final resting place at Cleveland Memorial Park, Boiling Springs, North Carolina, following the service. Eggers Funeral Home is serving the family of Mr. William Lawrence Haynes. Martha Ann Chapman, 86, of Lake Bowen, died Friday at the Landrum Hospice House. Funeral service will be held 11 a.m. today at Sulphur Springs Baptist Church with Reverend Ron Wilkins, Reverend Haywood Calvert, and Reverend Everett Chapman officiating. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Visitation was at the Paget King Mortuary Monday evening, and the funeral is set for today for Martha Ann Chapman. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. Complete information on these and others, as they become available to us, can be heard at 11:30 today, and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherford. Keeping you updated on news as it becomes available to us. Give you a heads up, too, we mentioned this a few days ago, but just so you'll be prepared for this, there's some railroads scheduled to close due to repair. CSX railroads over in Lattimore, it's between Washburn Switch Road and Blue Brook Drive. That will be closing the 25th for a period of time. And McSwain Road over there between Plato Lee Road and Washburn Road, closing around the 27th. And then RT Road, 28th, Cherry Street, 28th, Peachtree Road between Lattimore Road and Price Street, closing, and Crowder Gin Road, closing around 28th. Fight Road, closing, and Crawley Gin Road near Lattimore Road also closing. And in Mooresboro, near US 74 Ellenboro Road, closing about March the 7th for repair. And quite a few of the railroad crossings there in Ellenboro will be closing starting in March 7th through the 12th. All the CSX intersections there will be closing for repair. Over in Bostic, the Hermitage Trail between Tiny Road and East Church Road, Sakaza Road will be closing. North Main Street, West Church and South Pea Ridge Road closing around March 20th, and Brick Road near the Brickyard Road closing around March 21st for repairs. It will not take them very long, they tell us, but those are the roads they expect to be closed down for repair in those timetables. We'll get you updated on that again as closer as it gets into it. Right now, here's Rush.
You have heard about the Medicare for All thing, right? That's the commie pinko proposal that Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and other leftists are using as the centerpiece of their progressive agenda. Well, George Mason University just released a study that puts a price tag on Medicare for All. Now, grab a chair or grab your ankles, either one, because over 10 years, this pipe dream program will increase federal spending by $32 trillion. That's trillion with a T. Now, if history has taught us one thing, it's this. All federal spending projections are wrong. They're always low. The cost will always be higher, much higher. Something else history has taught us. When liberals get what they want, it's never enough. They always want more. They're never happy. Medicare for All is their starting point, and the cost of guaranteed income for everybody's next, and the cost of sanctuary city money pits, and the cost of climate change hoax taxes. And don't forget the cost of decimating the military again, and the cost of eliminating more of our freedoms. The cost of buying into these progressive dream schemes is a grim future, a bankrupt America, and a bankrupt American dream. Do not buy it. Don't fall for it. Do not be seduced by it. Did you know that there is a new victim of identity theft every 2 seconds? It means a criminal could be spending your money, applying for loans in your name, and even damaging your good credit, all without you even knowing. It's a good thing there's LifeLock identity theft protection. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of identity threats, like your social security number for sale on the dark web. And if you do have an issue involving identity theft, one of LifeLock's identity restoration specialists is going to work with you to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you get identity theft protection and additional features to help protect your devices against cyber threats for as low as $9.99 a month. Go to LifeLock.com or call 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH for 10% off your first year. It's LifeLock.com. And don't forget the name RUSH as the promo code for 10% off your first year.
9:05 weekday mornings. We start the trip down memory lane with classic oldies right here on 100.9 FM and 590 AM WCAB.
We all make promises, big and small, tested over time and distance, tried by circumstances and decisions.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I do solemnly swear to bear true faith and allegiance.
To help you when you're in need.
To tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
To be considerate and caring. Courageous and strong.
For better.
For worse.
In sickness and in health.
To love and cherish.
To be your loving, faithful friend.
Partner.
Child.
Parent.
Neighbor. One of our most important commitments is to support our nation's veterans. Learn how you can help a veteran going through a difficult time by visiting maketheconnection.net.
The Foothills closeout sale is underway, and you can get some really good bargains on some really nice furniture. Go over to 153 Sparks Drive, next door to the Hampton Inn in Forest City. Walk around inside. Real leather sofas and chairs. Marble and granite vanities, beautiful hutches, double bowl and single bowl sinks. There are 20 or more linen hutches, plenty of dining room tables, wood and glass, traditional and contemporary furniture, plenty of table chairs, armless leather chairs, and so much more. Much of it still in the original boxes and at wonderful low prices. But you'll see what's in store there if you'll just walk around inside. Go see for yourself. Foothills Furniture Closeout store is open after lunch until about 9 p.m. Or call DeWitt at 447-7313 for other times. I was impressed with it. I know you will be too. Foothills Closeout Furniture Sale, Sparks Drive, right beside Hampton Inn in Forest City.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Well, all in favor say aye. Well, the ayes have it. Well, when your vision is important to you, your eyes are important, and who you trust your vision care to should be important. Dr. Troy Tevis is the owner and operator of Tri-City Optometric Eye Care in Rutherford, and he's been voted the best in the county for some time now. He has a Ph.D., OD, takes time to understand his patients, their needs, and their concerns. It's not a rush next person kind of thing. He takes time to talk with you, let you know what's going on. Tri-City Optometric Eye Care offers full-service eye exams, contact lenses, emergency eye treatment, quality and affordable eyewear, and hundreds of fashionable frames. And the friendly staff there will be glad to file your visit with Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross, whatever you have. They'll work with you with that. Dr. Tevis is accepting new patients. Just call now, 288-8662 for an appointment. That's Tri-City Optometric Eye Care, located at 337 North Main Street in Rutherford. And Dr. Tevis also has an office in Tryon at 486 South Trade Street. So if your vision is important to you, who you trust your vision care to should be important.
Wyndham Thomas Wyndham Quinn was born on February 12, 1841, as the 4th Earl of Dunraven. In 1874, at the age of 34, he came to the United States to check on some land that he owned. Incidentally, that land was 60,000 acres where Estes Park, Colorado is located. Although his entourage was small when compared to other noblemen who had come west, it was in no way Spartanistic. It included a guide, Western consultant, artist, personal physician, gun bearer, servant, and collie dog Tweet. Dunraven spent several weeks hunting and seeing the sights of Yellowstone. He climbed Mount Washburn and saw hundreds of miles of forest, prairie, lakes, and mountains. Dunraven was awestruck. He sat there meditating until bad weather forced him back down the hill. Dunraven wrote a book entitled The Great Divide, in which he stated that Mount Washburn should be considered sacred ground. Dunraven's book became very popular in Europe because of his wit and clever writing style. In it, he stated, "I never have an adventure worth a cent. Nobody ever scalps me. I don't get jumped by highwaymen. It never occurs to a bear to hug me, and I inspire feelings of dismay or disgust in the breast of the puma or mountain lion. It is true that I have often been horribly frightened, but generally without an adequate cause." For 16 years, he returned to the United States for visits. Dunraven eventually assumed the life of an aristocrat, sailing yachts and fox hunting, but to his dying day, he never forgot that view at the top of Mount Washburn. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Now let's check in with the sheriff this morning to get started with our Call Around News segment. It's 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. Sheriff Chris Francis is on the phone with me right now. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I guess you're ready for this cold snap coming through with wintry weather.
I am ready. I appreciate you mentioning that for everybody else, so everybody else can get ready.
Yeah, it's going to be a iffy time these next 48 hours.
We certainly need to pay attention to our weather and make sure that we try to hold down on travel if it does get worse.
Yeah. Sheriff, tell us what's on your report today.
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 131 calls for service. There have been 8 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 180. Among those arrested, Leander Lynch, 44-year-old male of Union Mills, was charged with trafficking opium in possession of Schedule 2 and simple possession of Schedule 6, received a $10,000 secure bond. Kimberly Renee Ledford, 55-year-old female of Mooresboro, was charged by possession of a firearm by felon and received an unsecured bond. Anita Thompson-Jolly, 59-year-old female resident, was charged with obtaining property of false pretense and received a $10,000 unsecured bond. Stephen Ray Evans, 64-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secured bond. Larry Richard Fowler Jr., 42-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,250 secured bond. Dylan Scott Lowry, 25-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with probation violation and failure to appear, and those were 2 counts of felony probation violation. He received a $61,500 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had a break-in and entering in larceny on Cove Road in Union Mills. There was a lamp with a lavender floral design valued at $75 that was taken. And we also have a fire investigation. The fire marshal's office is investigating off Buck Collins Road in Forest City where a vacant residence burned. Jim, that's what we had to report.
All right, Sheriff, I do appreciate that report, and you be safe out there and keep up the good work. We'll talk to you again next time.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
See you now. Bye-bye. 20 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock right here on this terrific Tuesday morning report. Get back to the phones in just a moment. McCurry Deck Motors has been providing an impressive selection of automobiles for over 50 years. At McCurry Deck, you can browse the great selection of GMC automobiles and drive away in one knowing you have gotten the best deal possible. The team at McCurry Deck Motors counts it a privilege to make you a happy and satisfied customer. Why not test drive one of the comfortable and stylish GMCs today? At GMC, we are professional grade. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of GMC, Chevy, and Buick. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. Here's Mike reporting to us from the 911 Communications Center today. Mike, how you doing this morning?
Good, sir. How about yourself?
Great, thanks. Tell us what's on your report.
The past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Center has processed 380 911 and EMS calls. EMS had 45, 23 for rescue, 131 for the Sheriff's Office, 47 for Far City, 22 for Rutherford, 5 for Lake Lure, and 36 for Spindale. Cherry Mountain, Far City, Rutherford, and Spindale's all responded to motor vehicle accidents, and Far City's had an industrial fire alarm. And that's all we got, sir.
Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You have a great day.
Do the same, sir.
Okay. All right, bye-bye. That's the 911 Communications Center report, 22 now past 7. There's been a lot of questions asked about the Friends of the NRA banquet that's coming up. Here's the skinny on all that information. The banquet is Thursday evening, February the 28th. At 5:30, and it's going to be held over Trinity School Gymnasium. There are several benefits with purchasing a table. If you'd like to purchase a table for this and support this cause in a greater way, there are several benefits with purchasing a table. Several $1,000s in merchandise will be available in special drawings, live and a solid auction taking place. Your company's name will be on the table. You can do some advertising with it, a lot of networking. There will be approximately 500 people from our area that will attend, and is such a great networking opportunity at a casual setting. A portion of your table purchase is tax deductible. You support the NRA, and all the proceeds go to qualifying shooting programs to promote the shooting sports and the safety with that. Part of it staying in Western North Carolina for programs such as Hunter Safety, Boy Scouts, 4-H, JROTC, Women on Target, and Hunter Safety programs. 4 table packages to choose from, and individual tickets are also available, but they do sell out every year, so I would not advise waiting to the last minute to get a ticket. They are available right now with Darren Honeycutt over at the Henson Building Material. Just contact Darren, go by there, tell him you'd like to know more about buying a table and like to know more about purchasing a ticket, and you can get that done at Henson Building Material, Forest City. Darren's number is 828-429-1585. 429-1585, and that's coming up on the 28th of February. It's always a great event. Here is Ruby Taylor with the report for us from the Danieltown SDO Fire District. Ruby, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Tell us what's on the report. Pardon?
Marcus Fry and Pauline Putman has birthdays today, and the fire department didn't have any calls. Signs are in the bows today and tomorrow, Jim. That's all I got.
So you're waiting on this icy weather, huh?
No, I ain't going to do that. I wished it wouldn't come.
Well, you prepared for it in case it does?
It is.
Yeah.
I am. I've got everything. I don't worry.
Good for you. I was telling somebody this morning, called to ask about it, and he wanted to know if he could get out tomorrow. And I said, why don't you just go ahead and go to the grocery store today and not worry about it tomorrow morning. Just go ahead and stay in tomorrow morning. So I don't know if he understood what I was saying or not. But anyway, you be good.
I got milk and bread, and I don't worry about that.
And a warm fire, and that's all you need, right?
That's exactly.
Ruby, have a great day.
You too. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Now, Steve's up in Romney Ball this morning, overlooking the beautiful lake and overlooking things and getting ready for this winter storm coming through here. Steve, are you ready for it?
I'm here. It's one of those deals where we're kind of like on the edge again.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so we'll be here and respond whatever way we need to, I guess. I think we'll be okay. But
maybe it'll stay higher elevations than hit us.
But I'm sure in Black Mountain, Marion, and Hendersonville, and some of those areas that, like you said, I'm sure there's going to be some issues. Yeah. So they're a little bit more definite. But we'll be here, and it'll all be good in the end. We'll be better for it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're preparing for that, kind of monitoring. Northland Cable was here overnight, and they were installing some things, the internet services and all the good stuff that they do overnight, and I think all the connections are made. So it sounds like there were no major issues related to it, and that's always good.
So you can watch TV now?
Yeah, you can watch TV. So they were doing some connections and splices of connections. They've been doing a lot of work in here.
Yeah, good.
Duke Power also, and Northland Cable, and some of the areas where the issues were that we were having. So anyway, that's good. Hopefully all that's completed. And I got an announcement to make. This Saturday, February 23rd, 7 a.m. at the White House Community Center, they have a country breakfast buffet. And it's always good, and we don't have breakfast serving right now. It just isn't something we can do this time of year. It just doesn't work out very well for us. So anyway, we're going to send some folks hopefully up there to 5408 Painters Gap Road for that buffet. It's adults $6, children 6 to 12 $3, and under 6 get eat free. And it's a huge menu, and it's a real country breakfast, so we might give them the real country experience when they ask for somewhere to eat nearby.
Yeah, send them over there.
Yeah, we will. Tell them bring me back some liver mush.
That's on Painters Gap Road?
Yes, sir, 5408.
Okay.
So we're good there.
All right.
So, I guess we probably shouldn't send a road team over there. That'd probably overwhelm them.
Oh, boy.
But, we're starting to pick up some of the activities here. Our bridges are starting to move forward, getting repaired. So we got a bunch of cranes in here, huge cranes, and they're working on those issues. So we'd like to have all our bridges repaired because it's really necessary. We have a stream runs through the property, and kind of when those bridges go down, they're kind of isolated. We have one really good bridge working right now. So it's been an inconvenience for a lot of folks since that incident back in, I guess it was September. I should look that up.
Yeah.
But anyway, when the bridges went out.
I want my bridges to be secure when I'm traveling over them, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. It could be scary if you don't know.
Yeah.
So we're monitoring all the stuff, and of course the detour up here. That landslide continues to move. So that slow-moving earth issue continues to move, and there's some other issues related to it that it's unfortunate. So we're monitoring, and hopefully we'll have a resolution to that real soon. But it's just something that Mother Nature, and it's kind of hard to contend with.
Yeah, we never know.
Deep earth issues that over there, and so it's going to be a long time fix. So.
And expensive.
Yep, I'm sure it will be.
All right, Steve, I appreciate your information, and you have a great day up there, and get you snuggles close by. You may need them tomorrow.
I will do that. I'll take your good advice there.
All right, see you now.
Thanks, Jim.
Bye-bye. It's 7:30. This is Tuesday morning, and we have 36 degrees starting out this morning and cloudy skies. Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. When you don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly, we hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care.
JD and Marie Shook have lost their minds, or they've just got the New Year spirit. Starting now, every time you visit the Recliner Center, you can register to win a brand spanking new recliner. A recliner will be given away every month from now and just whenever. All you have to do is go to the Recliner Center and register. Now, after the drawing, the names will be tossed out, and at the beginning of the month, a new box will be ready for you to register again. So don't miss out on your chance to win a recliner from the Recliner Center. This is JD and Marie's way of saying thank you to all their friends and customers for making them a success for over 30 years. Don't forget to check out the Spring Air bedding. Doctors tell us a good night's sleep is very important for energy and stamina. Shouldn't you be resting better this year and having more energy? Spring Air bedding and a chance to win a recliner. And the Recliner Center will now be opening on Mondays and Tuesdays. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 2. They're on Coopers Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Now let's check in with the Hudlow Fire District. Bob Hodge is there to give us an update. Bob, good morning.
Well, good Tuesday morning.
I tell you, it's going to be a nice day today up until a point.
Yeah. Well, looks like it's going to go downhill later on today, but
Yep.
I guess we'll get what we get there.
Winter weather in effect from 6 p.m. tonight until 4 o'clock tomorrow. So what happens in those time frames is still yet unknown.
Well, I guess it have the snow than ice, but look like we're going to get more ice there than anything. So just have to be careful. Look out in the morning, see how bad it is before you jump out and take off, I guess. So
it's a good idea.
But Jim, up here with the fire department overnight, we answered 3 medical calls, and that's about it with the fire department. Things are running along pretty good this morning. Look like the sun is trying to come up a little bit out here, but it'll probably cloud up after a while. And look like the rest of the week's going to be wet there.
Well, when I started out this morning, I had a big full moon. I could see the stars, and when I got here to work, I looked out again, and it was cloudy, and I couldn't see anything out there except clouds. So it came on pretty quick.
Rolled back out there, but they're calling that snow moon. It's real white there, so I haven't seen on TV there a little earlier there. They call it the snow moon.
Snow moon, well.
Snow moon, that's right.
It was sure big and white.
And the full moon, we always have stuff going on. Something happens on the full moon there.
You said that right.
Yeah, it seems like we have one call, we have 3 or 4 there, so.
That's interesting about that, isn't it, how that works?
That's right. When I worked for them at service there, you might well expect to be up all night on a full moon there running there.
Yeah, we have. They call, of course, the moon has a name lunar, and the people sort of have weird things happen to them. That's why they call them lunatics. Because the full moon affects them, the mental capacity some way, so they're lunatics because they say the moon affects them. I don't know.
They say it. I believe it. I believe it affects people there showing up there. We have our calls and things, but I guess it is that way there. But
I'm pretty crazy year round, so I don't know if the moon affects me or not.
You know, it'd be when the pregnant women, you said, better watch out. We'll have the baby on the full moon there, and that's what they waited on. But Jim, you take care and you have a good day over there, and watch out for them icy spots now. You start into work in the morning.
Good advice, Bob. Thank you so much, and you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
7:35.
It's time for you to test drive the affordable, fuel-efficient Ford Fusion from Sisk Family Ford in Forest City. Family-owned Sisk Ford can put you into the car you want with a payment plan you can appreciate. If it's a truck you want, Get the Ford truck that's breaking records in sales. Ask about why the sales department is being bragged on with each and every sale that they make. They love your business at Sisk Family Ford, and it shows. New and used automobiles and an award-winning service department makes Sisk Family Ford the choice for so many. Step up to Ford today. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
I want to give a shout out this morning to the folks watching and listening online at www.wcab59.com and live broadcasting. I'm looking at you right now. Thanks for tuning in. Fellas told me yesterday, said, I watched you drink your coffee yesterday morning. I thought, well, I guess I better be careful what I do in the Blue Room. Never know what people might see take place in here. But thanks for watching on the World Wide Web. Wherever you are this morning, good morning. Now let's head over toward Cherry Mountain Fire District, and we have Sue Price on the phone to give us an update from the Cherry Mountain Fire District. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing just great.
Well, good. Good. It's cloudy over here this morning, so I guess we're going to be looking for that rain, cold weather. Ooh. But we've had some pretty nice days along, so we can't complain, I guess. It's that time of year for colder weather.
I've been kind of spoiled, though, with that nice spring weather.
I know. I think everybody has. But winter's not over with us yet.
No.
I'm starting out at 36 degrees, so it's not too bad out there right now. And this is one of those days when I do not have any birthdays or anniversaries on either one of my calendars, so we don't have anybody celebrating that I know of, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day. And the fire department had answered a call to one automobile accident. Got one announcement. The Bostic Missionary Methodist Church will be having a singing featuring the Blairs. That'll be Sunday night. It starts at 6 p.m. and everyone is welcome. So come on out and enjoy a good singing there at the Bostic Church. And so far, that's the only announcement I have, Jim. It's just a quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, Sue. You too, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right,
bye-bye.
Bye. 38 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we're going to go talk with Audrey in just a moment over at the Drop-In Family Store in Boston. She's on line next.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Our next Tar Heel game is coming up tomorrow night. The Tar Heels play Duke. It's a 7:30 countdown to tip off tomorrow evening right here on the radio. Tar Heels and Duke tomorrow evening. Now let's head over toward the Drop-In Family Grocery Store in Bostic there and talk with Audrey Ullman. Audrey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. It's breakfast time, Audrey. What you got to serve it over there?
Well, I'm just going to tell you what I had this morning.
All right.
And we'll go from there. I had one of the best liver mush, egg, and cheese biscuits you could eat. It was really good. I ate one about 6:30 this morning. I tell you what, that was a good biscuit.
Hot liver mush, hot eggs. That's good. Hot biscuit. That sounds like a winner.
Yes, it does. And right now we're running a special on the bologna biscuits. You can get them for $1.49. If you want to add egg, you can get them for $1.99. And, you know, if you don't want those specials, the girls have got chicken biscuits back there, good country ham, sausage, just whatever. So, you know, just stop by and pick up some breakfast.
Audrey, do people ever call in and get a bag full of those biscuits and take to work with them?
Yes, sir, they do. And, you know, just however many you would want, you know, they'll get them together for you and have them ready. Call in advance. And, you know, if you're on the way to school or work, whatever, they'll fix them up.
Well, you really make somebody's day happy. Just take a bag of biscuits and liver mush or biscuits and bologna and biscuits or whatever, and take it to work with you and get some brownie points from somebody.
That's right.
Everybody needs a few brownie points once in a while, don't they?
That's exactly right.
Do y'all ever sell hot soup over there?
We do occasionally. I know a couple of weeks back we did. I went back and even helped the girls out. We did a vegetable beef soup and cornbread. So, it's about time to do that again. We might try to do that in the next few days. If we do, we'll make sure we advertise it.
Yeah.
Most of the time the girls will put a note on the front door in a big, like, orange starburst that says, special today, homemade soup or something. So, people could be watching for that. We might just try that one day this week, and it's going to be real cold.
It's going to be a good week for it. It sure is.
Yes, sir.
All right, Audrey, I do appreciate you talking with me about that. You've made my mouth water here this morning.
All right. When you get a chance, come on over and see us.
You have a great day, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Audrey Ullman there at the Drop-In Family Store in Bostic on Highway between Bostic and Sunshine there, right across from the post office. Stop in over there and get yourself a hot biscuit and load it down with something. Or take a bag to work and get a few brownie points with somebody.
When you need daycare services for your adult loved one, Rutherford Life Services is always there for a dependable and loving environment. Rutherford Life offers a place to go during the daytime for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and creative activities. Caregivers can go to work knowing that their loved one is in a safe and reliable place. Rutherford Life is licensed by the North Carolina Division of Aging. Rutherford Life has a full staff of trained professionals who show love and support. Call them today and let them answer any questions you may have concerning adult daycare services. 828-288-1697 or visit the facility at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Thank you very much, Lou. Now let's head up toward Union Mills to get the Kelly report from Miss Kelly. Brenda Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. How are you?
I'm just feeling mighty fine.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
You warm enough up there yet?
I got 32 degrees on the front porch.
That's cold.
That's cold, yeah.
So if it were to start raining now, it'd freeze at your house, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I know. I don't know if it was last week or there was one morning I went out and when I touched the banister, I said, ooh, that's ice. And I got out in the yard and it was ice and everybody else was fine, but stuff up here was frozen.
I hope you're careful
okay.
on that porch.
Oh, I do. I hang on. We have to be careful. But we hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Like I said, I've got 32 degrees and birthdays today. This first person, I cannot pronounce the last name. It's Emily RJHDES. So I'm sorry about that. And then Josh Selvey and Ada Hendricks and Amanda Thrift. I don't have anything on around here, so we hope all these people have a great old big day on their special days. And in ways of announcements, we got a country breakfast buffet Saturday, February the 23rd, 7 to 10 a.m., White House Community Center at 5408 Painters Gap Road, Union Mills. Adults, $6. Children, 6 to 12, $3. Under age 6, eat free. Eggs, grits, West Court sausage, Hunter's liver mush, biscuits, sausage, and plain gravy, taters, applesauce, French toast, orange juice and coffee, jams and jelly. And proceeds go for the upkeep of the building, and that's all the announcements I've got this morning.
Now to get to
somebody needs,
Go ahead.
Somebody needs to take Steve a liver mush biscuit up there at Rumlin Ball.
I wish he'd eat one time. He'd fall in love with that liver mush.
I think so too.
I think he's afraid to try it. Really try one.
Yeah.
He might have had a bite or something. He needs to really try one.
He might be by that like I am by mayonnaise. I just can't do it.
Yeah. Get up to the White House Community Painters Gap Road. You go up, how do you go?
Turn on from the Gilkey Lumber Company and go out by Pinnacle School and just keep on going.
Okay. Gilkey Lumber Company. Turn
to the left.
Turn left. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, If you turn right, you'll be at the lumber company.
Oh, yeah, turn left and go out to Pinnacle School and keep on
going. That's Painters Gap Road.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking me how to get there, and I was trying to make it clear as I could. Clear as a bell.
Go out past Pinnacle School and just
keep on trekking.
Yeah.
Sounds great, Brenda. You have a great day up there and stay warm, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Thanks. Bye-bye. It's time now for us to go to Ellenboro. We'll do that in just a moment after we check on our ears. Miracle Ears offering some really good opportunities for you to check on those ears. The hearing process is something we really ignore many times, don't we? Until somebody has to tell us, are you deaf? We don't want to get to that point where folks are questioning whether or not we can hear good. If you recognize that you're having to turn the volume up louder, or you're having to ask the people to repeat themselves several times, or your grandkids said, Papa, can't you hear? You can do something about it. If there's a way to change that for the better, wouldn't you want to do it? Sure you would. Call Miracle Ear today, 447-7716, 447-7716, and talk with Lisa and her team over there about that free hearing test and start moving in the right direction. Now, you probably won't get them today, but you get started on the process of getting some hearing instruments that'll help in that and enjoy life again. Hearing loss can be a contributing factor of early dementia because you start isolating yourself when you can't hear. So don't let that go on forever and ever. Go ahead and do something as soon as possible. That number is 447-7716, or stop by there. They're in the same building there with Southern Carpet in Forest City. Now, Mr. Gilligan is on the phone with me right now. Luther Gilligan from Ellenboro. Tell me what's going on over there.
Not much going on this morning at all. Happened yesterday and last night. Things are quiet this morning. Well, we were excited to see part department had 2 part calls yesterday, had 1 medical call, 1 emergency this morning. But it quieted down now. Everybody sit back to relax and enjoy the cup of coffee. And that's what we're all going, getting their coffee and all that stuff, and heading on out to work. Yeah, I'm just geared up, ready to go. Get the road running. But nothing else going on there. Don't have any birthdays or anything going on. Nothing going on. You have a great day up there. We'll see what happens today.
Thanks, Luther. Enjoy your day. Be careful.
All right.
All right, bye.
Take care.
It's birthday time and anniversary time for this 19th day of the month. February the 19th, call yours in to us. We'll celebrate, give away a dozen Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. 287-3356 is the phone number. That's 287-3356, and we'll celebrate birthdays.
You can know a successful business by the company they keep and the years of service to their customers. That's Southern Carpet and Hardwood Floors. Since 1993, Gerald and Lynn Toney have set out to offer the best products at affordable prices and ensure their customers are satisfied. Their son Clayton joined the business when he was old enough to look over the display cases, and he's been impressing customers ever since. The company, Southern Carpet, keeps and includes some of the best: Bruce Hardwood, Appalachian Hardwood, Armstrong Vinyl, Shaw Carpet, and many more you'll recognize. Southern Carpet has the largest selection of hardwoods and laminates in the area. Check with them when you want something done to your floors. Free estimates and expert installation. Drop by and see them at 1512 West Main Street in Forest City, right across from North State Gas. Look them up on Facebook and check out their website at www.southerncarpet.net.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday wishes go out to a lot of nice folks this morning. And let's see who's going to be wished a happy birthday. It looks like Emil Rodis, John Selby, Ada Hendrick, and Amanda Thrift. Happy birthdays. And Ada Hendricks, again, was on the list, 6-year-old student at Pinnacle. Larry and Teresa Edwards celebrating an anniversary. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to you. And we'll have that drawing in just a moment.
Before all farm homes and barns were wired for electricity, a young boy was instructed by his father to go to the barn and water the animals. It was nighttime, and the boy, like most young boys, was apprehensive and fearful of going to the barn by himself. The son protested, "But Dad, it is dark out at the barn." The father would not relent and simply told the boy to take the lantern. "But Dad, the lantern does not shine all the way to the barn," the boy replied. "I know, son, but just walk to the edge of the light." Of course, as the son carried the lantern, the edge of the light kept moving closer to the barn until he could ultimately see what was needed at the barn itself. I don't know how many times I have thought of that illustration when embarking on a new endeavor. I would like to be able to see all the way to the end. It would be nice if every piece of the puzzle were visible and every resource or obstacle were clearly evident. Seldom does it work out that way. It is then that I'm reminded to walk to the edge of the light, and as I keep walking, more light is revealed to me. Has God called you to a project or a new direction, but some of the future is unknown and unlit? Are you protesting because you cannot see how it will all work out? If you listen closely, you may hear him say, "My child, walk in as much light as you have right now, and then you will receive more when you need it." The faith walk, by its very nature, presupposes that parts of our new venture will be unknown. Remember, when you can't see everything, just walk to the edge of the light. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
And a big congratulations going out to Ada Hendricks. She's a student at Pinnacle, 6 years old, student at Pinnacle. So we wish Ada Hendricks a happy birthday and congratulations. She's won the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Let me remind all of you that Granny B's now has a great, powerful coffee shop over there, too, serving specialty coffee. So you might want to get a cup of coffee and enjoy a donut or a pastry there. Granny B's Bakery. Now, coming up next hour, Andrew Tisdale subject to be here to grace our studios a little after 8 o'clock this morning. We have a lot of stuff to pack in. May even give away a couple of tickets. I don't know. We'll see what's in the old goodie bag over here this morning. But right now, let's enjoy walking down memory lane.
You got the magic touch. It makes me glow so much. It casts a spell. It rings a bell, the magic touch. Oh, when I feel your charm, it's like a false alarm. You make me thrill so much. You've got the magic touch. Here I go, really. I'm feeling the glow. But where can I go from you?
MCN News. I'm Mike Riley, the political operative behind what North Carolina's elections director describes as an illegal ballot harvesting operation favoring Republican congressional candidate Mark Harris in the 9th District won't testify about his actions without legal immunity. Leslie McCray Dowless appeared before the State Elections Board on Tuesday. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, State Elections Board Director Kim Strack said
McCray Dowless hired workers that he paid in cash to collect absentee requests, to collect absentee ballots, and to falsify absentee ballot witness certifications.
New this morning, Bernie Sanders has now launched a second presidential bid. He tweeted a video and a message this morning: "I'm running for president." Snow and freezing rain is expected to fall in the mountains of North Carolina tonight. Areas in the central part of the state, including the Triad and areas north of the Triangle, could also see some frozen precipitation. Eric Laws with Blue Ridge Electric tells WSOC News.
A quarter of an inch would probably bring down a lot of trees, and that will bring down the power lines, and that's where the danger comes in.
That could happen in the mountains. More states are joining a legal fight against President Donald Trump's declaration of a national emergency for a southern border wall. California Attorney General Javier Becerra.
He's using the White House and the presidency as his theatrical venue to go out there and prove to folks that when he says something, he means it, even though he might be violating the Constitution to do it.
A former Superior Court judge is among those asking the North Carolina Supreme Court to find the death penalty unconstitutional because its rare use means it serves no purpose. In a friend of the court brief, the group also argues that the death penalty is cruel or unusual under the state constitution. Police in Chatham County are looking for the people responsible for placing razor blades under the handles of a shopping cart at a Walmart, injuring at least one person. You're listening to NCN News.
There's a new risky scheme circulating in Raleigh that's going to hurt our teachers, state employees, and retirees.
The state treasurer is floating this risky scheme that will cut more than $400 million in payments to your local doctors and hospitals. Those cuts will cripple local hospitals, meaning state employees, teachers, and retirees on the state health plan will have limited access to hospitals and doctors in your community. This risky scheme will cut services. It will take away your choice about who you want to care for you and your family.
If the state treasurer really wants to cut costs to the state health plan, he needs to work with doctors and hospitals to prevent illness, manage chronic diseases, and help folks lose weight and stay healthy.
Healthy employees and retirees will save the state health plan money. Isn't that what the treasurer says he wants?
Let's stop pointing fingers and start working to build a smarter state health plan by protecting patients and supporting the folks who take care of them.
That's the North Carolina way of doing things.
Paid for by Partners for Innovation in Healthcare.
Chanel's iconic couture, Karl Lagerfeld, whose accomplished designs as well as trademark white ponytail, high starched collars, and dark glasses has died. He was 85.
An incredible work ethic that went right the way into his 80s. He put the hours in. He oversaw so much of what went on. A great businessman as well. You can't exist at that kind of level in a major fashion house without having a great deal of business acumen as well. But at the core of it, an almost unique creativity in how he combined traditional with experimental and kept the designs fresh over the years so that so many people wanted to work with him.
1 week after the death of Congressman Walter Jones, another representative from eastern North Carolina and a close friend of Jones is speaking out about when they could see a special election to fill the now empty seat. Governor Roy Cooper is yet to say when a special election may be held to determine who will succeed Congressman Jones. Congressman G.K. Butterfield tells WITN News.
I'm not speaking for the governor. I don't know that for sure, but it would make sense to me that the election, at least the primary election and possibly the runoff, will be in May.
Southwest Airlines reports more troubles.
This past holiday weekend, about 100 Southwest flights canceled for maintenance. Now, the Wall Street Journal reports federal air safety regulators are investigating Southwest for widespread miscalculation of the total weight of checked bags loaded onto each of its flights. In a few cases, the FAA finding the load more than 1,000 pounds in excess of what airline paperwork indicates. The report sparking concerns among some federal safety inspectors. Jim Taylor, CBS News.
Fayetteville State University is joining other higher education campuses by adding a food pantry at their school. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. He's trying again. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders announcing this morning he is running for president.
I'm asking you today to be part of an unprecedented grassroots campaign of 1 million active volunteers in every state in our country.
Here's ABC News senior national correspondent Terry Moran.
The last time Bernie Sanders ran for president, when he announced, hardly anybody noticed. And then he ignited that astonishing grassroots movement that made him the most unlikely political rock star and changed the Democratic Party, shifting it decisively leftward. But now the question is, at 77 years old, can Bernie bottle that lightning again?
President Trump's declaration of a national emergency at the border now facing a legal challenge from 16 states.
The states in this lawsuit being led by California include Hawaii, Minnesota, Colorado, New York, New Jersey, and 10 others. They're arguing that President Trump is illegally raiding money that was appropriated by Congress. They claim the president doesn't have the power to overrule congressional spending decisions on his own.
That's ABC's Alex Stone. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who oversaw much of the special counsel's investigation, is now set to leave the Department of Justice.
Rosenstein is now telling colleagues that he plans to depart by mid-March. The source says that Attorney General William Barr would like to nominate to replace Rosenstein to be Jeff Rosen, who currently serves as Deputy Secretary at the Transportation Department.
ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas. The fight against against the remnants of ISIS slowing down in eastern Syria. ABC's James Longman's there.
Rosenstein is now telling colleagues...
Really, the fighting is at a standstill because about 1,500 ISIS fighters are currently holding about 2,000 civilians hostage. And there is real worry that once the territory is taken from them and once US troops do leave, the possibility that they regroup is really there.
You're listening to ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Marriage, a new home, the birth or adoption of a child, and the new tax laws? You might want to check out your withholdings. The IRS has made a withholding calculator on its website so you can do a paycheck checkup. Now, if you're caught short this year, chalk it up to experience and make the changes for next year.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in taxes to the IRS? There are programs that can reduce or eliminate your debt now. Call Fox Tax at 800-680-8090. 800-680-8090.
The fashion world losing an icon this morning.
Karl Otto Lagerfeld has died in Paris at the age of 85. The German designer, who was the creative director at Chanel for decades, was one of the industry's most prolific figures and worked right up almost until his death. He reportedly had been unwell for the past several weeks and had missed a number of fashion shows.
ABC's Tom Rivers at the foreign desk. Police in Illinois now say the man who killed 5 at a warehouse in Aurora in suburban Chicago should not have had his gun. ABC's Ryan Burrow.
Shooter Gary Martin's concealed carry application was denied in 2014 due to a previous conviction. He was notified he was supposed to surrender his gun and FOID card within 48 hours. Illinois State Police have no records that handover ever happened. When a gun owner fails to comply, local law enforcement can obtain a search warrant to recover the weapon and FOID card, but Illinois law does not require them to do so. Illinois State Police say they issued nearly 11,000 revocations to FOID card holders in 2018 alone. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Chicago.
Nearly a year ago, West Virginia's teachers went on strike for almost 2 weeks over low pay. Today, they're walking out again. All of the state's public schools are closed. The teachers are upset over a bill working its way through the state legislature that could overhaul education. And more than a dozen people have been rescued from a broken ride at SeaWorld in San Diego. They were stuck in gondolas over the bay for hours. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Sherry Preston.
All aboard! Now is the perfect time to stop into Jesse James Railroad Express for the most delicious burgers, clubs, hot dogs, fresh salads, taco salads, chicken, tuna plates, and so much more. All orders are prepared fresh daily with made-to-order ingredients. Also pick up a delicious cup of coffee, hand-dipped milkshake, or a fresh donut. Hours Monday through Saturday, 8 to 4. Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. Jesse James Railroad Express has been voted Best Hot Dogs and Hamburgers for Rutherford County 2 years in a row. Stop by and enjoy your meal from Jesse James Railroad Express today.
Colder air is settling in. Some of us could be looking at a mix later this afternoon and maybe some freezing rain as we head into the overnight tonight. It'll be mostly cloudy today, though. Colder with the highs in the mid-40s to about 50. Into the evening, rain moves in, and some could be mixed with sleet up toward the Triad. The low in the low to mid-30s. Areas north of the Triad switching over to freezing rain through the night. Everybody else sees rain, and then morning freezing rain north. Everybody else sees rain with a high in the upper 30s to low 40s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
It's 37 degrees right now. We are anticipating the winter weather advisory coming in this evening. It looks like we're under from 6 o'clock tonight to 4 o'clock tomorrow Freezing rain expected. Total ice accumulations of 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch expected. Now, how low down that comes to us is unbeknown at this point. Strong area of high pressure north of the region will bring cold air southward across the western Carolinas through Wednesday. Meanwhile, moisture will return from the south tonight and produce a wintry mix of precipitation along the Blue Ridge Mountains of western North Carolina and surrounding areas. A wintry mix this evening with transition completely over to freezing rain before daybreak. Wednesday with accumulation of ice likely through at least midday, especially along the north of Interstate 40. Now, where we get that is unsure at this point in time, how low it comes down the mountain, but we are under that anticipation of some freezing rain developing anymore. So the biggest part of it is going to be overnight and wake up in the morning if it's there is going to be. So that's when you really need to take notice and pay attention to the weather. Listen up here. We'll have all that information for you in the morning bright and early. Right now, again, it is 40 degrees and getting up to 42 today with the wind chill value as low as 31. So wrap up good and wrap the kiddos up good today. All right, it's 8:07 here on this terrific Tuesday morning, and Tuesday morning is Andrew Tisdale Day here in the Blue Room. He comes in to talk about making sense of investing. He's with Edward Jones, and he's right here close to me. I can almost reach over and tap him on the shoulder. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing great.
You look rested up from the weekend?
Getting there.
Are you?
Getting there. We had a long weekend, long travel. My daughter and some of her friends, a little volleyball team, went down to Augusta, Georgia, left on Friday evening and got back late Saturday evening. So it was a good tournament. They played hard. We had fun, built memories, and
good.
Now it's time to get back.
Augusta's a good little ways down the road, isn't it? How long does it take you to get there?
It took us about 3 hours.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too
It takes
bad.
4 to get to Raleigh.
It does. It does. And that was a choice we had. We either need to go, we had a tournament opportunity to go play up around Raleigh area or Augusta, Georgia. And Augusta won because of the distance.
Yeah, yeah. Did you go out to play golf while you were there in Augusta?
You know, I looked very hard as I was driving down the road in the middle of the night, in the middle of the rain, for where you could go, but I couldn't see it. I probably should have paid attention to the road.
Tell us what you got on your mind today.
Let's keep a theme going that we've been talking about here and there, and talking about how insurance plays such a dramatic part, almost like a cornerstone in your financial plan. And the right insurance can meet both short and long-term needs. For example, life insurance is essential for your long-term goals, taking care of your family, replacing the income just in case you're no longer there. And this goes not just for those of us who are working with families. Yes, that's very important, but it also, think about if you're married and you have Social Security coming in, and you depend on that Social Security for income, and for you and your spouse both, and your spouse passes away, there is a Social Security check, whether yours or your spouse's, is going to disappear also. Life insurance is what that is, replacement of income. In the short term, it's disability insurance. Don't ask the question what if I don't wake up? What if the situations is I wake up and I can't go to work? What if the situations I wake up and I can't provide for my family? This is where disability insurance comes in. It will replace your income if you just can't wake up. Life insurance, if you're alive, is not going to work. Disability insurance, if you can't work, will replace that income. That's the difference between short-term and long-term needs. How does that fit into the cornerstone of your financial plan? Your financial plan is a long-term plan to get to where you want to be so that you can do the things that you want to do. If anything out of your control interrupts that, you need a cornerstone, life insurance or disability insurance, to keep your goals in place. We want you to spend your money, that your hard-working money that you're setting aside, on the things that will help your family, not on things to help just spend to the doctor bill. If you need more information, come see me.
And of course, he's located at 173 Railroad Avenue, Ruffton, and that phone number is 828-287-9197.
828-287-9197. I got that memorized.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Making sense of investing. Sandy Tisdale back with us on Tuesday next week. I hope you have a great week.
I'm glad I got to come today.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. Be ready for the cold weather. The icy conditions tonight.
I need to go home and get prepared.
Bring in some firewood.
That's right.
I'll see you
Y'all
next
have a great
week.
day.
I'll be back in just a moment.
9:05 weekday mornings. We start the trip down memory lane with classic oldies right here on 100.9 FM and 590 AM WCAB.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you are a loved one that experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. The Foothills Furniture closeout sale is underway, folks, and I really want you to go by. I think you're going to be impressed with what they've got and the prices. The sale is underway, and you can get to real bargains on some real nice furniture. Go over to 153 Sparks Drive. Now, if you wonder where that is, that's the road between the Hampton Inn and come around to the credit union there beside the clinic. That's Sparks Drive. It's 153 Sparks. You'll see the signs out front of the building. Real leather sofas and chairs, marble and granite vanities, beautiful hutches, double bowl and single bowl sinks. There are 20 or more linen hutches, plenty of dining room tables, wood and glass dining room tables, traditional and contemporary. Plenty of table chairs, armless leather chairs, and so much more. And much of it still in the original boxes and at wonderful low prices. They've sold some, but they've still got some more. Go see for yourself. Foothills Furniture closeout sale is open after lunch until 9 p.m., or you can call DeWitt at 447-7313 for other times. But I want you to go. I don't know how long they'll have that, but I want you to go see for yourself. I was impressed, and I know you will be too. You've been wondering about getting some leather furniture. This is your answer, and you don't have to pay the exorbitant price other fancy stores. Go by Foothills closeout furniture sale today. Sparks Drive, right beside Hampton Inn in Forest City. Now let's look at some stories from here and there. Daily Courier is reporting some stories. The cause of that fatal fire remains unknown, according to the story. Damages were too severe in last month's fatal fire to positively determine the cause of the blaze, according to Rutherford officials. The extent of the January 26 fire at 137 Benton Lane in Rutherfordton has prevented investigators from pinpointing the exact origin of that blaze that killed Charles Kevin Washburn, according to Fire Chief Tommy Blanton. Previously deferred to city police for the investigative findings related to the cause of the fire. Early on, investigators identified Washburn's bedroom as where the fire started. They even suggested the fire could have ignited in Washburn's bed. Martin confirmed Washburn was indeed a smoker. Washburn's body was found face down near the front door, suggesting he was trying to exit after having gone back inside the burning house. Investigators believe Washburn might have gone back inside to get his niece out of the house. She had fled the fire by a side door after Washburn yelled for her to get out while she was getting a bath. Investigators also questioned whether Washburn tried to do much himself instead of immediately calling for help with the city's fire department, only about 4 blocks away. Blanton said earlier that firefighters could see smoke billowing from the station when they got the call. By the time firefighters arrived, the house was engulfed in flames. Just a series of unfortunate circumstances, according to the fire department. Other stories being reported in the Courier. The 22-year-old Forest City man is currently in jail at the Rutherford County Slammer, facing multiple larceny-related charges. Christopher Caleb Suey of Doggett Road was arrested and taken into custody by Rutherford County Sheriff's Office deputies on Friday at approximately 8 o'clock a.m. Also taken into custody was Suey were Ashley Dawn Keeter, 31, of Mountain View Street in Forest City, and Douglas Emmanuel Montgomery, 38, of Bible Street, also was arrested in Lake Lure. According to Lieutenant Jamie Keever, deputies attempted a traffic stop on a Buick LeSabre, on Oakland Road in Forest City. Though the vehicle fled and was ultimately pulled over on Crow Dairy Road, Keever said after the vehicle stopped, Suey fled on foot but was apprehended without further incident. Suey was charged with 8 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon, 7 counts of larceny of a firearm, resisting a public officer, felony breaking and or entering, and larceny after breaking and entering, according to after Suey's larceny-related charges. Keeter was charged with 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance in jail, prison, 2 counts of carrying a concealed gun, possession of methamphetamine, possession of marijuana up to a half ounce, and aid and abet a firearm by a felon. She received a $37,500 secured bond. Montgomery was charged with possession of a firearm by a felon, possession of a controlled substance, and flee to elude arrest with murder vehicle. He received a $600,000 bond. Of course, as you know, felon cannot legally carry a weapon. Well, the Democrat candidate David Wheeler, who ran for unsuccessfully for the North Carolina Senate against Ralph Heiss, he's filed a suit against a church member because they had him arrested for trespassing, and he thinks they owe him lawyer fee. Wheeler claimed in the complaint that the member of the church caused a malicious case to be initiated for political purposes. Wheeler for North Carolina Campaign Committee was required to expend funds for legal representation by 3 attorneys for 3 individuals and mileage to attend court matters. So he's suing them for reimbursement of those charges that he expended defending himself. Meanwhile, a Chesney man faces charges after investigators say he sexually assaulted minors multiple times between 2006 and 2018. Rimbert Allen Brewer, 51 of Anderson Road, faces 2 charges of second-degree assault and battery, 5 charges of third-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor between 14 and 16 years old. Brewer's wife, 57-year-old Lisa Daw Brewer, also faces 3 charges of neglect of a child in relation to the reported abuse. According to an incident report, a man made regular and systematic sexual contact with 3 minors in Spartanburg County over the course of several years. During that time, a woman failed to report the abuse, did not protect the children, and coached them to make them fearful of telling the truth about the abuse. Spartanburg County deputies arrested Rimbert and Lisa Brewer on Friday, according to the booking agency. Rimbert Brewer remains at the Spartanburg County Slammer on a $29,000 bond. Lisa Brewer was released on Sunday. So what do you do? Somebody's found guilty of child abuse, taking advantage of them sexually or otherwise. What do you do to an adult that beats up on a child or sexually molests a child in their innocence? What do you do to them? Do you give them a slap on the wrist and say, don't do that anymore? Or do you make the punishment serious enough that maybe it'll make believers out of them and somebody else who might be observing? I think it's time to make these crimes a little more serious and punish a little more greater. The slapping on the wrist and charging them several $1,000s and don't do it anymore, or put them on community service kind of thing. Those things are nice for minor offenses, but when you when you do serious stuff, you need a serious punishment, I think. That's just my way of thinking. That some people might think it's kind of weird sometimes, but maybe not. Maybe I'm on target. Maybe I'm not. Well, you wonder sometimes too about parental guidance in people's lives, children's lives. Down in Lakeland, Florida, a Florida 6th grader faces charges of disrupting a school function and resisting arrest after a confrontation that followed his refusal to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. In a statement Sunday, Lakeland police say a school resource officer was alerted to a disturbance created by the student in the classroom at Lawton Childs Middle Academy back on February the 4th. According to police, the student initially refused to leave the room, continued to be disruptive, and made threats while being escorted to the school's office by the officer and the school's dean. See, they don't want to just refuse to do the pledge. He had a privilege of leaving the room while the others did it, but he chose to stay in there and cause a disruption. Now, so the folks on the left, they say, oh, he shouldn't be punished for Well, he should be punished if he's disrupting the class. If you don't want to respect the flag, then he's got other problems. But he was asked to leave the room if he didn't want to, but he didn't. Then he disrupted class. And the statement says the student was charged based on his failure to comply with the officers and the dean's orders, not his refusal to participate in the pledge. Polk County students aren't required to stand for the pledge. They're asked to, requested to. And if they have been taught any kind of thing about our American history and our patriotism, then they should want to. And the parents should be involved in the lives enough to teach the kids respect for America and respect for the flags and respect for the Bible and respect for the church and respect for the Judeo-Christian values. The parents not teaching these kind of things. How do we expect the kids to be raised and respect authority if the parents aren't giving them that kind of thing? According to the statement, the officer decided to arrest the student, though no one from the school requested to press charges. The student just was causing trouble. He was not arrested because they didn't want to do the pledge. He was arrested because they disrupted the class. He wouldn't obey orders, so they called in the resource officer, and the resource officer took over. So there you go. It's I've been convinced for a long time there are no juvenile delinquents. They're delinquent parents. I'll be back in a moment.
For professional laundry services, always depend on the excellent performance Classy Dry Cleaners, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. They offer the services of wash, dry, fold, press, and alterations. Satisfaction always guaranteed. Hours of operation Wednesday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturdays 11 to 3. Also, browse around Classy Cleaners. Angie has all kinds of clothing, jewelry, shoes, and furniture. Two great businesses in one. Classy Cleaners and Savvy Divas Thrift Shop. Railroad Avenue, Rutherford, next door to RS Speedy Lube.
The flu season will soon be upon us, and Smith Drugs of Forest City is ready to provide these immunizations at the drugstore at your convenience. We will bill your insurance, and one of our pharmacists can administer the vaccine to you Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and on Saturdays by appointment only. Remember that a flu immunization is the best way to prevent getting the flu, in addition to washing hands, covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze, and staying home when you are sick. Prepare yourself and protect those around you with a flu immunization this year. Come see us at Smith Drugs of Forest City, 139 East Main Street.
Sheriff Chris Francis gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department earlier this morning, and we recorded it for broadcast at this time. Sheriff?
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 131 calls for service. There have been 8 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 180. Among those arrested, Leander Lynch, 44-year-old male of Union Mills, was charged with trafficking opium and possession of Schedule 2 and simple possession of Schedule 6, received a $10,000 secure bond. Kimberly Renee Ledford, 55-year-old female of Mooresboro, was charged by possession of a firearm by felon and received an unsecured bond. Anita Thompson-Jolly, 59-year-old female resident, was charged with obtaining property of false pretense and received a $10,000 unsecured bond. Stephen Ray Evans, 64-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secured bond. Larry Richard Fowler Jr., 42-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,250 secure bond. Dylan Scott Lowry, 25-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with probation violation and failure to appear, and those were 2 counts of felony probation violation. He received a $61,500 secure bond. Among the incidents, we had a breaking and entering in larceny on Cove Road in Union Mills. There was a lamp with a lavender floral design valued at $75 that was taken. And we also have a fire investigation. The fire marshal's office is investigating off Buck Collins Road in Forest City where a vacant residence burned. Jim, that's what we had to report.
Only 2 weeks after its debut, the Alliance of American Football is already financially cash-strapped.
That's according to a report from Dave Glenn of The Athletic, who reports that Carolina Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon stepped in last week and committed $250 million to the fledgling league, which just completed the second week of its first season last week. As a result, Dundon will be named the new chairman of the Alliance of American Football later on today. The report says that if Dundon had not committed the money, the league would have failed to meet payroll last Friday, one day before its second round of games were set to begin. Former UNC football coach Larry Fedora has a new job. He has joined the staff of the Texas Longhorns as an analyst. Fedora was fired as the head coach of UNC in November after 7 seasons in Chapel Hill. This is sports from NCN.
State lawmakers are cranking up a new legislative session. Everything's on the table. The budget, education, transportation, regulation. What are they doing, and how is it affecting you, your family, your business, your wallet? Carolina Journal helps you find answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Hockey fans, Caniacs, and other cool people, have you ever tried a Canes Fam value pack? They're a great way for you and your or buddies to catch a Carolina Hurricanes home game with 4 or more bundled discounted tickets that also come with a $10 per ticket PNC Arena food and beverage credit. This special offer is available March 1st against the Blues, March 23rd against the Wild, and April 4th against the Devils. Learn more today at hurricanes.com/fampacks.
In women's college basketball last night, number 5 Notre Dame defeats 9th-ranked NC State 95-72 at Reynolds Coliseum Valvano Arena in Raleigh. The Wolfpack suffers just its 3rd loss of the season. Arike Agumbawale scored 22 points as the Fighting Irish took over the game by scoring 12 unanswered points in the 3rd quarter. Elisa Cunane had a season-high 28 points to lead the Wolfpack. In Major League Baseball, Bruce Bochy of the San Francisco Giants says that he will retire after this year. Bochy turned 64 on April 16th. He is entering his 13th season with the Giants and his 25th year as a manager. He has led San Francisco to 3 world championships. That's sports. I'm Jeff Hamlin on NCN.
Colder air is settling in. Some of us could be looking at a mix later this afternoon and maybe some freezing rain as we head into the overnight tonight. It'll be mostly cloudy today, though, colder with the highs in the mid-40s to about 50. Into the evening, rain moves in, and some could be mixed with sleet up toward the Triad. The low in the low to mid-30s. Areas north of the Triad switching over to freezing rain through the night. Everybody else sees rain, and then morning freezing rain north. Everybody else sees rain with a high in the upper 30s to low 40s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Well, we're back to 37 here at Rutherfordton, beautiful downtown Whiteside Road, 37 with cloudy skies and rain and possibly a mixture throughout today. Later on today, highs today around 42, wind chill value as low as 31, and that chance of precip about 70% today. And tonight, that increases a lot, about up to about 80% with a wind gust to 13 miles per hour tonight. And that chance of freezing rain develops overnight, cloudy with freezing rain tomorrow morning early, with highs only around 38. Wind chill value as low as 26. Northeast winds to 7 miles per hour, with chance of precip 80%, and new precipitation amounts up to 1/4 of an inch possible tomorrow. That's when it gets a little bit treacherous, and it's still a little bit iffy whether or not we'll be involved in all of that or not. Is higher elevation certainly will. Around the Henderson, Saluda area, all of that area will probably be affected, maybe around Marion, Lake James area. We may, in our higher elevations here, we'll see, have to wait and see tomorrow morning. But it looks like rain's in the forecast every day all the way through Sunday. The temperature is going to be up, but no freezing rain after today and tonight. But there's rain in the forecast every day all the way through. For instance, Saturday cloudy with rain likely, highs around 51, and the chance of rain 60% Saturday and Saturday night, and 40% on Sunday. And then Monday it clears off. We got a beautiful Monday on the 25th, mostly sunny with highs around 63. Wind gusting to 13 miles per hour. So it's wintertime, and you'd think it was April the way the showers are coming, but it's not. We got April to come yet with April showers. They bring May flowers. Congratulations to Ada Hendricks. Ada is 6-year-old student at Pinnacle Elementary. She's won herself some Daylight Donuts this morning, courtesy of Granny B's Bakery there in Spindale. So we'll have that certificate for Ada when she comes by to get those. Well, Rutherford County Library is very excited to announce the March launch of the Read, Engage, and Discover initiative. This project, better known as Read Access, provides students in the Rutherford County Public Schools and Lake Lure Classical Academy with access to library resources. Our schools and libraries share a strategic partnership to help ensure student success and support literacy initiatives. Together, the heart of the mission is to promote literacy, a love of books, and the importance of reading as a foundation for lifetime learning. Students will have access to learning resources offered through the libraries in Rutherford County and more than just at their school. They will be able to access and check out public library resources by using their student ID number. Students may borrow from participating libraries' online digital collection and database. They may borrow up to 10 print items at one time, CDs, DVDs, and other non-print items that are excluded. Teachers and students will be able to use these instructional resources for academic enrichment, both at home and school. So this is something the Rutherford County Schools are doing in conjunction with Rutherford County Libraries, which is probably a good thing. Well, if you've been following and hearing at all, the country's last undecided congressional election was marred by falsified signatures, disappearing documents, and blank ballots that were filled in by people hired by the Republican candidate. North Carolina elections officials said they think the Republican candidate had something to do with it. I find that hard to understand that Reverend Harris would do that, but people around you never know. The state election board could decide as early as today whether possible criminal ballot fraud was unfortunate but tolerable, or whether to order a new election in the 9th Congressional District. A political operative hired by Republican Mark Harris led a coordinated, unlawful, and substantially resourced absentee ballot scheme in last year's general election in rural Bladen and Robeson counties, which, as part of the Congressional District State Elections Director Kim Stretch said Monday. The operative was called to testify Monday, but his attorney refused to put him on stand without legal protection against prosecution for events he described. Harris narrowly leads Democrat Dan McGrady in unofficial results, but the race wasn't certified in November after rumors of Dowless operating focusing on mail-in ballots. The election board is expected to either declare a winner or order a new election after the hearing. Dowless was hired to produce votes for Harris and Bladen County Sheriff Jim McVickers, but his methods last year included paying people to visit potential voters who had received absentee ballots and getting them to hand over both those ballots, whether completed or not. It's illegal in North Carolina for anyone other than a guardian or a close family member to handle a voter's ballot because of the risk that could be altered before being counted. While Dowless and Harris' main campaign consultant were in constant contact, she didn't have any indication Harris knew anything about the operation. I think Mr. Harris was completely clueless as to what was going on. According to this one spokesperson, he testified she collected about 3 dozen, sometimes unfinished ballots, and handed them to Dowless, who kept them at his home and office for days or longer before they were turned in. While the congressional and sheriff's race were almost always marked by voters who turned in unsealed ballots, Britt said she would fill in double ballot local races favoring Republicans. So we'll see how all that turns out. It'll have a court case today. It's unfortunate that something like that would take place. Listen to me just a moment. I'm going to let you in on this. I've told you about it already, and I hope you'll take advantage of it. The Foothills Closeout Furniture Sale is underway, and boy, are you going to be amazed at the bargains. Just go over to 153 Sparks Drive to the building beside the Hampton Inn and see for yourself. Leather sofas, leather chairs, marble and granite vanities, beautiful hutches, double bowl and single bowl sinks, At this Foothills Closeout huge sale, there are 20 or more linen hutches, dining room tables, wood and glass, traditional and contemporary, plenty of table chairs, armless leather chairs, even very nice standalone showers for your basement or any room in the house. Now, the Foothills Closeout sale will be open after lunch until about 9 p.m. each day, or call DWED at 447-7313 for other times. I was so impressed with the quality selection and the low prices of these. I wanted you to know about it. I think you'll be impressed as well. Get over there today. Right beside Hampton Inn on Sparks Drive, you'll find this great furniture store. And you'll thank me. You'll thank me for it. Well, Phil Robertson is back out again with another book called The Theft of America's Soul, the blowing the lid off the lies that are destroying our country. Phil Robertson. I heard him on a radio program the other morning coming in. He was on Eric McTax's early morning show. And Duck Commander Phil Robertson on the 10 lies the devil is using to destroy America. He says, I hope America won't be like the Roman Empire, Robertson said, quoting Romans 1:22, since they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, God gave them over to a depraved mind to do what ought not to be done. Well, Robertson, who's 72 now, he's the co-owner of the Louisiana's Duck Commander Company and the head of the duck calling Robertson family, made famous on A&E's hit reality television show called Duck Dynasty. That's still in syndication. They're not making new shows, but those shows are being seen over and over again in syndication. I decided from the very beginning that I would tell it like it is because I have not and will not be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, he says. God's truth is always right, and I'm very proud that this notable publication has accused me of preaching it, Robertson said in a press release. And preach I will, more of it and louder. That's exactly why I wrote The Theft of America's Soul to begin with. It's one of long sermons from my heart to the soul of America. Well, Robertson preached like he's using a shotgun. In his book, Robertson blasts way at some of the lies being spread throughout our culture. And the book exposes what he says are 10 essential deceptions and schemes being used by the devil to steal, kill, and destroy America's soul. Robertson, in the Christian Post, in a recent interview, he fears that the United States, as it backs away from its foundings of the Judeo-Christian principles, will one day dissolve because God could leave the country to wallow in its own wickedness. Robertson said, I hope America won't be like the Roman Empire. Robertson told the Christian Post magazine, the idea of the book is simple, to get people to embrace living a godly life and to get them to love God and love their neighbor. He went on to say, you go out and get a job and you work and you feed your family. You're the father and you have a mother and you raise your children and you teach them, correct them, and rebuke them and train them. We have lost that in America, he says, across the board, and we are looking at the results of it. I'm just trying to remind people that if we keep this up, this whole thing is going to fall down upon us. So he's written this book called The Theft of America's Soul. I want to get in touch with him if I can and maybe do an interview with him about this book. But he points out the 10 lies highlighted in the book, 10 lies that America is being told across America. You might agree with some of these you may not agree with. But some of these lies he's saying that's out there is God is dead. There is no devil. The truth is relative. The truth is relative. God did not create life. Sex is for self-gratification. Virtue is outdated. Laws can be ignored or changed if they are inconvenient. Unity is not possible. Church participation in day-to-day life should be kept separate. Christians should shut their traps. Those are the lies, 10 lies he says that are affecting America as we know it across the country, and that's the kind of lies he's trying to get a point out to talk about it. He doesn't hesitate about doing that on wherever he is. He still wears that long beard, stringy hair. Looks like some kind of Old Testament prophet or something, pictures you might think about them. But he's out there doing his thing, and he's being received well in some places, and, of course, ridiculed and laughed from the other side that don't like that kind of message at all. But he's out there, and thank goodness he is, to remind us that we are treading on some mighty dangerous territory when we turn our backs on the Judeo-Christian values of life. Well, it's 41 minutes after 8 o'clock. Congratulations again to Ada Hendricks. She's a 6-year-old student at Pinnacle, and she won herself some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Well, you may have been hearing now that Bernie Sanders just announced that he's going to run for president again. Isn't that great? Hip, hip, hooray! Bernie Sanders is going to be out on the campaign trail again, spewing out the socialist message. Now, that gives about, 2 or 3, 4 of them that are socialist leaning. And this Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her face is, she's a big-time socialist. And he's out there now. He'll be the mainstay of socialist message. Every 2020 Democrat candidate, is pro-abortion and pro-LGBT. In just under 2 years, the United States will vote whether to give President Trump another 4 years in the White House, and so far 11 Democrats have stepped into the ring to oust them. As of February 13th, which was last week, the Democrat primary field includes Senators Cory Booker, Kirsten Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, I guess it is, Klobuchar, whatever her name is, Elizabeth Warren, Representative Tulsi Gabbard, former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Julian Castro, former Representative John Delaney, South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg, New Age spiritual author and friend of Oprah Winfrey Marianne Williamson, and entrepreneur Andrew Yang, and now Bernie Sanders. All are running as doctrinal left-wing candidates supportive of abortion on demand and so-called LGBT rights. I call them the alphabet candidates. Booker is the former mayor of Newark, New Jersey. He has made a habit of grilling Republican nominees over their views on homosexuality. If you've been watching any of that, you know that that's one of the first questions he'll ask him. And he's taken pride in officiating same-sex weddings in the process of dismissing objections that such unions are unlawful in the eyes of God and Jesus Christ as not substantive or worthy. He also echoes standard left-wing rhetoric on the right to choose abortion. He's all for killing babies. Cory Booker said on the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, here's an alarming fact: 400-plus anti-abortion bills passed on the state level since 2010, which means 29 million women live in places hostile to abortion rights. We must be vigilant in protecting a woman's right to choose. Well, the woman's right to choose came 9 months early, in my opinion. 9 months earlier. That's when you have the right to choose. Go with it or don't go with it. Protect yourself or don't protect yourself. That's the right to choose. Not 9 months after the fact you got a little baby coming, and you say, I choose not to bring that baby into the world. Well, it's already too late. You had the right to choose. I believe in that right to choose back 9 months earlier. Get yourself fixed, get some protection, or abstain. In July, amid a rising trend of left-wing activists harassing Republican figures at places like restaurants and airports, Booker advised an audience to go to the Hill today and please get up in the face of some congresspeople. Gillibrand, who represents New York, has called the prospect of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade and letting states decide their own abortion laws literally the biggest civil rights issue, certainly in my lifetime, for women. And she supported Planned Parenthood while declaring she wouldn't watch the undercover videos revealing its sale of aborted baby parts. She wouldn't watch that. They don't want to be informed of that. They don't want to see that grotesque pulling a baby's arms off, sucking the brains out of a baby. Excuse me my grossness, but that's the reality of what's happening, folks. But these folks that are pro-abortion, they don't want to see all of that happen. They just want to erase it out of their minds and say, we're getting money from the Roe versus Wade people. We're getting money from the Planned Parenthood, so we better not be against it. Well, Gillibrand, supported and campaigned with former President Bill Clinton as recently as 2016, then claimed he should have resigned for his treatment of women 1 year after his wife Hillary Clinton lost the White House to Trump. Harris is a 54-year-old prosecutor, Kamala Harris, who was previously California's Attorney General, during which she played a key role in defending Planned Parenthood over the baby part scandal and instead investigated the Center for Medical Progress, pro-life investigators who exposed it. She investigated those who were exposing this grotesque thing of selling baby parts, but defended the people who were selling baby parts. That's Kamala Harris, rolling to be your president. As a Senate candidate, she bragged about forcing religiously owned companies and pro-life pregnancy centers to violate their consciences. During Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation hearings, Harris tried to get him to call the Obergefell ruling that forced states to recognize same-sex marriage one of the great moments in the history of the Supreme Court. In December, she suggested Trump judicial nominee Brian Busher's membership in the Catholic fraternal organization Knights of Columbus was problematic because of its pro-life, pro-marriage stances. They don't just oppose this issue of pro-life. They detest it. They think it's terrible that we would be for saving babies' lives. We would be for pro-life and be against killing babies. They don't understand that. Minnesota's Klobuchar, who announced her entry into the field the other Sunday, standing in the snow, cast herself as the choice for Americans tired of the shutdowns and the put-downs, the gridlock, and the grandstanding. But Minnesota Citizens Concerned for Life argues she's anything but a moderate. She's never voted for a pro-life bill or for a restriction on abortion, no matter how modest. The Minnesota Citizens Concerned for Life writes, noting she has voted for taxpayer funding of abortions and late-term abortions. She's also co-sponsored sweeping legislation that would have invalidated nearly all limits on abortion at any stage of pregnancy up to the last minute. In its endorsement of her Senate bid last year, the pro-LGBT Human Rights Campaign called her condemnation of the Trump administration's ban on transgender soldiers and co-sponsorship of the so-called Equality Act, which would amend the 1964 Civil Rights Act to add sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity to non-discrimination categories. She's fighting against the Judeo-Christian values. She has reportedly struggled to find former congressional staffers willing to work on her presidential campaign, thanks to her alleged harsh mistreatment of subordinates. BuzzFeed interviewed multiple former staffers who claimed the candidate's cruel treatment of them ranged from verbal abuse to throwing a binder at someone on one occasion. Well, Elizabeth Warren, Massachusetts senator who rose to prominence as a sharp critic of Wall Street and is currently under fire for her history of claiming to be a Native American. She is a great ally of Planned Parenthood, who has called abortion safer than tonsillectomies and suggested that late-term abortion can be an act of mercy for disabled children. She also advocates for homosexuals to be allowed to donate blood despite increased risks of HIV. Where is in the minds of these people? Do they not care about the safety and the conscience of America? Well, Gabbard represents Hawaii on the House of Representatives and is a major in the Hawaiian Army National Guard. She holds a 100% pro-abortion voting record and has introduced multiple pro-LGBT measures, including legislation to mandate gender-confused individuals access to opposite-sex restrooms, locker rooms, and dressing rooms. It's okay if they don't know whether they're a boy or girl. Let them go where they want to go. Let them go into the girls' room if they feel like it. And on we go. Every 2020 Democrat candidate is pro-abortion and pro the alphabet, LGBT, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all whatever the numbers are. They're all for that, and they want to be your president. And they're fighting every day against a man who believes that sanctity of life, who believes our borders need to be protected, who believes we need a strong military, who believes we need a tax cut, who believes in the Bible, who believes in prayer, who has prayer set over him almost daily. They're fighting against somebody who has the Judeo-Christian principles. No, he's not a Sunday school teacher, but he knows right from wrong. and they're fighting against that to bring the wrong forward. 51 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Multiply the cash scratch-offs. Let me multiply the cash so I can multiply what I love. Boats, fishing boats, sailboats, ski boats, the wind in my face, the sun glistening against the water like diamonds.
Diamonds? I'd love to multiply diamonds. Big ones, small ones, black, yellow, pink, blue. I love diamonds on necklaces, on bracelets, on my phone, on my dog. Sparkly, shiny.
Shiny, I love shiny. Shiny guitars, loud ones and rare ones. I multiply me jam sessions in my garage and maybe on stage in front of a packed stadium. Me band ripping hard on my most gnarly axe.
Did you say axe?
Timber! I love axes. Custom ones, painted ones, sharp ones, dull ones.
They multiply what they love, so we multiply the cash. New Multiply the Cash scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery with over $119 million in total prizes. Multiply what you love up to 50 times. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.3 to 4.79. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
It's the tax refund extravaganza at Bark Mobile, with deals on phones and plans that'll make your refund seem huge. Like free Moto G6 Play smartphones for you and the kids when you switch. Unlimited data is just $50 a month for the first line. Half price for lines 2 through 4. And the 5th line's free. I know, right? The tax refund extravaganza at Bark Mobile. Mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
The Medicine Box in Rutherfordton would like to invite you to come by and check out their newest line of all-natural products. The Medicine Box is now selling elderberry syrup, locally made by Darby Farms and Union Mills. The elderberry syrup is one of nature's antivirals and immune boosters, an age-old cold and flu remedy that tastes good for adults and children. The Medicine Box also has Nature's Truth essential oils and diffusers for massage and aromatherapy. Another great product, TheraWork foam for leg cramps, and the product everybody is bragging about, 2 Old Goats. You know, you always get professional but local homegrown service at the Medicine Box. They're on Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton.
Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. Again, that's 287-3338. My good friends, have a wonderful day this Tuesday. Be ready for the cold snap that may be coming tonight. Be aware of that. Don't panic. Just don't worry about it, but just be aware of the fact that we may get some freezing stuff overnight tonight. And in the morning, we'll try our best to wake up and tell you all about it tomorrow morning. And meanwhile, enjoy today. Enjoy WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM. We go down memory lane with some of the classic oldies right here every day. So long, everybody.